Good evening. On behalf of the MRC 91 repeater, I'd like to welcome you all to Wednesday Night Elmer Net. My name is Jim, Kilo Tango 9 Golf, and I'm located in Waukesha, and I'll be acting as your net control operator for tonight's net. Licensed amateurs, technician class or higher, are encouraged to check in either with or without traffic. Before we start tonight's net, however, if you should have an emergency during this net, please let us know and we will stop to handle your emergency. Traffic for this net means questions, comments, or discussion related to amateur radio. Whether you're a newly licensed ham looking for guidance on your first setup, an experienced operator with technical questions, or someone curious about exploring new modes or equipment, this is the place to ask. Our community is here to help each other grow in the hobby, share knowledge, and foster the true ham spirit of mentorship. So don't be shy. Ask away. If you have anything that you're looking to buy, sell, or trade, we suggest you check out the MRC 91 repeater Sunday nights directly after the Sunday night announcement net for the Sunday night swap net, where that type of traffic is encouraged. All right, getting started. Check-ins are in alphabetical segments based on the first letter following the numeral in your call sign. For example, my call sign is Kilo Tango 9 Golf, so I would use golf. Mobile stations may ignore the roll call segments and check in at any time when it is safe to do so. During check-ins, please respond with your call sign slowly and in standard phonetic, along with your first name and whether or not you have any traffic. Again, my name is Jim, Kilo Tango 9 Golf, your net control operator for this evening. We'll go ahead and begin check-ins with any mobile or short-time stations. Mobile or short-time stations, go ahead. Coming up, please.
KD9 TGM.
KD9 TGM. Wayne, I got you on there. Anyone else, mobile or short time? Go ahead. All right, hearing none, we'll go ahead and start with regular check-ins. We'll do the first section of A alpha through K kilo. A alpha through K kilo. Go ahead. Come now, please.
This is Kilo Delta 9 Juliet Tango India. Craig.
This is Kilo Alpha Niner Juliet Bravo Delta Mike in Muskego.
KD9 JTI, Greg got you on there, and KA9 JBD, Mike got you on there as well. Anyone else? A alpha through K kilo. Go ahead.
Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu.
Yeah. W9GTZ, Jim got you on there. All right, let's do A alpha through V Victor. A alpha through V Victor. Go ahead. Come now, please.
Kilo Delta 9 Victor Golf Lima, Gary, New Berlin.
KD9 VGL, Gary got you on there. Anyone else? A alpha through V Victor. All right, let's do A alpha through Z Zulu. Open the floodgates all the way up. A alpha through Z Zulu. Go ahead. Come now, please. Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead and get started. And as usual, we'll pick up anybody on the end of the first round who came in late and every round thereafter. Okay, so follow up from last week. The homework was longest contact that you could make with your rig via repeaters. So there was two things. It was either what's the furthest repeater that you can make, or what's the furthest contact you can make from the 9-1 repeater, or I guess your local repeater or whatever. The point was to use repeaters and try and get as far as you could. My hope was that I was going to be able to hit one of the 6-meter repeaters in Michigan, but I didn't get a chance to really try very hard. There are some, and there's one right across the water. I was hoping there would be a little bit of a band opening. I might be able to hit it. But that was my that was going to be my little trick. Plymouth is still a good one. Lakeshore repeater is a good one. I usually can get Lakeshore repeater. And then on 220, sometimes Chicago. I've heard Chicago. I've never keyed it up, but I've heard the Chicago repeater before when the band opens up. So if anyone gave that little homework assignment a try, go ahead, let me know how it went, or let us know how it went. As far as tonight's topic, again, you can ask any questions that you want. But the seating topic is first contact stories. That was the one that I suggested last week that we were going to do this week. So this is, tell us a story about your first most memorable contact that you had in ham radio and get other people excited about making contact. So could be anything from, keying up a local repeater and having a conversation for the very first time, or making a really fun HF contact with someone in Antarctica. I don't know, whatever. So those are the things. Again, as per usual, if there's anything else. And then at the end of the first round, I'm going to tell a little bit of a story about what I did this week. I had a lot of fun, but I don't want to bring it up until the end of the first round to give people a chance. So going up to the top of the list, KD9 TJM. Wayne, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Thanks, Jim. KD9 TJM. Yeah. All right. Yeah, teacher, my dog ate my homework. No, I didn't get a chance to. Just with work situation this week, I've been filling in for guys and working whatever. I'm sitting at work now, but I don't even know if I'm going to be working anymore tonight. So that's why basically it might be a short time. I might be on my way home soon. Who knows? But anyway, but I can say, at least for the first contact I've done from the repeater, back to the 9-1, was a couple years ago. And there's probably a lot of inducting going on, but I was at my previous job, man, I had a little bit better setup in that truck because I had that truck, permanently. That was my truck for a good long time. And I had, good antenna setup, both on my, 10-meter / CB antenna and my 2-meter antenna, and I started hitting them from the Gary. I'm like, wow, okay. Then I got the South Bend, Indiana. Wow, I'm still hitting it. So I got just across the border into Ohio, and I was still hitting it. I know it was Bill, and I honestly don't know if he's still around. I don't know if he's a Sonic Key or not. But yeah, I was talking to him every 20 miles. Because that was back when Corey kind of gave me that homework assignment himself, and hey, I want to see how far the repeater goes. But I think that was inducting on that end. As far as the other contacts I've made, I'll say that on my next round. KD9TGO.
All right, yeah, KD9TGM, KT9G, net control. Yeah, I think I remember you've done that multiple times, I think, testing the repeater as you're driving to and from. I did that once on my way down to Great Wolf Lodge in Gurney Mills, was checking how far I could hit the 9-1 from my HT, because we took the wife's car, so I didn't have a radio, but made it pretty far. 9-1's got some good reach, so. All right, KD9 JTI, Greg, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Thank you. KD9 JTI. Well, since it wasn't here last week, I wasn't sure what the homework would be, but my first contact was Warren. There are a few people here that know who Warren is. Some people don't know who Warren is. Warren is a silent key now, at any rate. His wife is still on the pink hamster, isn't it? Anyhow, Jim, anyway, one of the days, I usually am a volunteer at the West Dallas Senior Center, known as Greg the Gadget Guy. And normally I was set for teaching computer classes. Well, it evolved from helping with cell phones and computers and tablets, because I don't have many people showing up there. Anyhow, last Wednesday, nobody showed up. Reset. Anyhow, so I alleviate my boredom by going on YouTube. I looked up WN12 on research, and I came across a very interesting video, something about 10 Essentials by Linux TV, and so I was taking a lot of notes, and I brought it to go home, was able to get the same website, or the same video, and so I now have Flatpak and Flathead installed on one computer. Not too impressed with it, but anyhow, one thing I'm very curious about, in the terminal mode, in the root subdirectory, in the root, TASKSEL I typed taskSEL, and all of a sudden popped up a little menu of all little GUI desktops. Sorry about that. Try again. So put mate, cinnamon, X's, and it was destroying. You can try different desktops on the same. You wait till you log in as far as your user, you press enter, and then just before you put your password in, there's a little icon in the lower right of the screen. You click on that, pops up a little menu of what desktop do you want. So I tried GNOME Classic, and I tried Mate and Cinnamon and XFCE, and I still go back to. I can find advantages and disadvantages of everything. Anyway, so that's where I've been up to. Jim, I don't know if you're familiar with any of that. KD9JTI will bet back to you.
Yeah, KD9JTI, KT9G Net Control. Yeah, I do know that some of them allow you to. They'll have that drop-down menu where you can change the desktop environment on the fly, because they're all just installed in the back end and just picks it when you log in. So that's a cool way for you to be able to get used to. I mean, I just have the one I like and I stick to it and whatever. But yeah, no, that's cool that you found that. All right, KA9JBD, Mike, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Yeah, KA9JBD, Mike in Muskego. Wayne already stole my thunder. I have two purebred beagles and a mutt beagle on steroids, and all three of them ate my homework. Hi. If I had to talk about my longest contact on 9-1, I believe it was many years ago. I talked to the first mate or second mate on the Badger Ferry when they were about halfway across Lake Michigan. Can't remember his name, can't remember his call. But yeah, that would probably be the first one. First actual contact I made as a novice back in 1975. I believe that was in Argentina, contact on 15-meter CW. So that's it. Back to net, KA9JBD.
WI9MRC repeater.
Yeah, KA9JBD, KT9G Net Control. So that's cool. You gotta hit the ferry while it's in the water from the 9-1 repeater. That's pretty cool though. Yeah, in Argentina, I think you said CW as a novice on 15 meters. That's pretty cool. I'll bring up CW on my turn because that's another topic that we've been discussing. But I want to take time away from everyone here. So W9GTZ, Jim, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Whiskey 9, Golf Tango Zulu. Well, I think the farthest repeater I've been able to hit was over in Cedarburg. I've never used it at all other than just to open a repeater and know that I hit it. And as far as what my first contact was, to my best memory, it was in Illinois. My best memory remembered it 5 minutes ago and forgot it now. Hi. But it was down in Illinois, and it was 1963 roughly. So that's a long time ago to remember where it was. Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu, back to net control.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. I'm just trying to remember if I have the Cedarburg repeater even. I'm pretty sure I do. I know there's a 220 Cedarburg repeater, so I don't know which repeater there is on UHF VHS. I mean, I'm sure there's one there, but okay. All right, KD9 VGL. Gary, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Well, thank you there, KD9 VGL here. Yeah, repeater experience. Actually, on this one, back in fall, I do the Thursday trivia net and whatever it was called back then, I can't remember. But all of a sudden, ducting kicked in, and we were talking to somebody from Ontario, and he came in on the main channel, and then we got him switched in on 310, but it was pretty good. It was right near the end of the net, and he was with us for a good 5-10 minutes before it faded out. My original very first contact when I was a technician back in the mid-60s was on 6 meters, and the band opened up, and all of a sudden I had somebody from Connecticut on the East Coast, which at that time was a pretty big deal. So that's my story, and we're sticking to it, and this is kind of a fun net, and swinging it back to you from Kilo Delta 9 Victor Golf Lima.
Yeah, KD9 VGL, KT9G net control. That's pretty cool. Picked up someone in Ontario on the repeater, so that is cool. I mean, the ducting can do all sorts of fun stuff. I think, 6 meters is a little bit different. That's just a band opening thing. I don't know, it's not ducting as much as just extra activity. But I think my furthest contact on 6 meters right now is Mexico. I have the FT8 contact in Mexico. I think is my furthest. I've gotten a lot of East Coast. I've gotten like New York and Massachusetts and Rhode Island, Virginia, but Mexico one day. It was kind of fun. But anyway, so that brings us to the bottom of the list. Is there anybody else out there, A Alpha through Z Zulu, would like to go ahead and join us for the Wednesday night Elmer net? Go ahead, come now, please.
K9 VFP mobile.
K9 VFP, got you on there. I typed your call sign in, and then it yelled at me saying it wasn't formatted right, and I put an N in instead of 9. Whoops. Anyway, anyone else? A Alpha through Z Zulu for the Wednesday night Elmer net. Go ahead, come now, please. Okay, hearing none, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to you, Vince. Let me know what you've heard or what you want to get caught up on. I don't know how much you've been listening, and then I'll go ahead and take the floor and then bring it up to the top of the list. So go ahead, floor's yours.
K9 VFP here. I heard most of it. I haven't been a ham for that long. Unfortunately, I've been busy, so I didn't get a chance to do the homework assignment. But as far as first contact on the 9-1, it was Karen. When I first powered up my $20 Bofang from Amazon, which I ordered the day I got my license, and I've been hanging around the 9-1 since. As far as HF, I've made a few contacts. I think the best one has been the Vatican station in Rome with a long wire out in my backyard. But other than that, I haven't been too active. I've gotten a few interesting contacts. So, K9VFP, back to net.
Yeah, K9VFP, KT9G net control. Vatican's cool. I don't think I've ever gotten that. I'm still trying to get 100. Get my DXCC. Haven't gotten that yet. I think according to QRZ, I have like 90 some, and I think according to Logbook of the World, I have like 82. So there's a couple from QRZ that never confirmed in Logbook of the World or whatever. But as far as my first contact after getting licensed, I have his QSO card still, KD9UPB. It was on the 14519 repeater. I can't remember what the call sign for that repeater is, but it's a local one here. It was just getting my radio programmed. I think kind of the same thing. I think it was a Baofeng that I might have been on right after I got licensed and was playing with it. So, okay, well, before we bring it up to the top of the list here, I'm going to break for a second and then give you guys a little bit of a spiel on two of the things that we've been talking about in the past. So give me 1 second. Okay, first one, Morse code practice. I was saying that I was having a hard time getting into it, and I finally decided to give another app a try called Morse Mania, I think is what it's called. A lot of people recommended it. Yeah, Morse Mania. A lot of people recommended it. You have to pay for it if you want to get some advanced features on it, but I decided to because I wanted to guilt myself into doing it, so I paid for it. I love it. I'm actually doing really well with it. I really enjoy it. It's well put together. It's working great for me, so I'm happy with that. And then the other thing was, this week I have been in a SANS training, and I am happy to say, I finished it today. It's just a 3-day class, but it was on Internet of Things and RF hacking. And one of the coolest parts about the class was they shipped me a box with a bunch of gear that I got to keep, which included like a Raspberry Pi 4, a case for it, a bunch of Zigbee devices, Bluetooth devices, wireless dongles for Wi-Fi, and a Hack RF1 with everything I needed for it. So I got all that stuff and I got to keep it. So I was super excited about that. So I've been playing with that all week, having a lot of fun with it. So I don't know if anybody here has a Hack RF1 SDR or have ever played with like a Flipper Zero or anything like that on that side of the house. But the Hack RF1 is really nice. It also has the capability of transmitting too, so that's what makes it even more fun. So you can do replay attacks and all sorts of fun stuff with it. So if anyone's interested in hearing more about that, I'm willing to talk about it, but I don't want to soak up the whole net about me gabbing on about training that I went through this week. So I'm going to go ahead and throw it up to the top of the list here and give it back to KD9TJM. Wayne, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Thanks, Jim. KD9TJM. Yeah, so let's see. What did I start off with first? I'll start with the repeater. Yeah, just kind of like some other guys have in the past. You know, you rock the bell thing. You know, the first couple months that you have have your ticket. So yeah, I played around a little while on 513, and I got a couple guys on there, but it wasn't always consistent. So one morning, I had the 9-1 on, and I was hearing a few people talking. Like, let me just jump in. You know, Karen being one of them, Neil being another one. Mark, again, call signs always go away from me. So Mark, Yeah, so basically, we always had that little group. Then wound up being Corey, So yeah, it was always kind of that little group in the morning because I used to leave out at my other job at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning to go out to Ohio. So yeah, we did that for a long time. But yeah, as far as HF is concerned, yeah, I would say probably the furthest one I've done was that DX expedition that I got, off the coast of South America. And I actually went through my QRZ while we were talking. I'm like, let me see where my other one was. Yeah, it was Russia. I was pretty sure. So, but yeah, other than that, not much else to add. So yeah, so for now, Jim, check me out. If I got anything else, I'll jump back in. I want to see if I'm still working tonight or they're going to have me go ahead and go on home. So, KD9TGM.
Yeah, KD9TGM, KT9G Net Control. Yeah, no worries. I got you marked as checked out. If you want to jump back in, just throw your call sign back in, and I'll check you back in. Oh, there was one other thing before I keep going through the list. There was one other thing. I am uploading all of these recordings to YouTube. I am curious to know, is anyone looking at them? I'm going to keep doing it regardless. I just want to remind people that they're out there. I don't know if they're of value yet. Hopefully they will. Sometimes you got to do something for a long time before it sticks or becomes valuable. So I'll keep doing it, but just remind you that it is there. So, all right, KD9JTI, Greg, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Thank you, KD9JTI. Well, I prefer using the GNOME desktop, but all the other ones I want to get going primarily for demonstration purposes. If I get back to teaching about computers, for example, like laptops, tell me, hey, see me first. There are laptops, and then there are laptops. You believe, well, when I first got into this, a couple of people said, I just bought a new computer, and they're bringing out this new laptop. Turns out to be a Chromebook. And I thought, you're rather quite limited to what you can do with that thing. Anyway, KD9JT, back to you, Jim.
Yeah, KD9JTI, KT9G Net Control. You know what? I can be perfectly honest. I don't think I've ever even touched a Chromebook, let alone used one. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I have nothing against them personally. I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to even play with one. I am a Lenovo fanboy. I literally have 3 Lenovo laptops sitting in front of me right now. So, yes, I like Lenovo's. I've got a Legion that I use for kind of everyday gaming stuff, and I know anyone who's a video gamer probably just cringe at the fact that I do gaming on a laptop, but I'm a dad, and I don't have a lot of time to do things, and I like to be able to take my laptop into the living room when my kid is forcing me to sit on the couch and watch cartoons with him so that I can play on my computer. So I like having laptops. And then I've got another laptop that I use specifically for radio stuff, and then I've got another laptop that I specifically use for hacking, for research and development and stuff like that. So, and then I've got a Mac for work and whatnot. But anyway, yeah, I haven't played with a Chromebook yet. Maybe I should give it a try someday. All right, KA9JBD, Mike, go ahead. Floor is yours.
KA9JBD returning. Yeah, not a lot to add. I guess I'll just be listening out in the background. KA9JBD, back to net.
Yeah, no worries. KA9JBD, KT9G Net Control. So ham.live doesn't have a listen-only mode, so I just marked you as checked out. But again, just throw your call sign out if you want to jump back in. I'll mark you back in. All right, W9GTZ. Jim, go ahead. Floor is yours.
W9 GTZ. I don't know that I have much more to add at this point. I guess on the bright side, I'm starting to walk a little bit. Still got a long ways to go, but it's getting, every day gets just a little bit better, it seems, and that's encouraging. Other than that, I don't think I've got a whole lot to add. I've been fighting with software on this computer and radio software, and I think I finally got sorted through it, and it turns out that a lot of my problems were stemming from buying a cheap, crummy short jumper on Amazon, and the jumper was no good. What's surprising there? And it took me quite a while to find it because I had 3 or 4 jumpers in that circuit because I got 3 pieces in series, so it took a while. But I think we finally got to the bottom of it, and I haven't hooked it up with different jumpers yet, but I'm pretty sure that's going to solve my problem. Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu, back to net control.
All right, Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu, Kilo Tango 9 Golf. Okay. Yeah, let me know how that goes. I've got another topic that I might throw at the end of this. It seems like we're losing steam here, and I've got a topic that I know will bring everyone back. So I'm going to finish down the list here, and then I'm going to throw it out. So KD9 VGL, Gary, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Yeah, well, nothing else really to add at this point. Kind of fun to listen. But I will share with you a comment about this repeater that I got on HF, talking to a fellow in California who actually worked around the Midwest with a lot of commercial equipment, and his comment about MRC 9.1 was that it was one of the best operations that he has seen in this part of the country. He said the quality and the reach and everything else was absolutely impressive. So something to hang your hat on. I know I've said that to Corey, and he gets, oh well, but you guys do one heck of a job with this repeater for sure. So that's my comment, and we'll swing her back to you from Kilo Delta 9 Victor Golf Lima.
Well, yeah, KD9 VGL, KT9G, net control. Well, I appreciate it. I have not been, actually I was going to mention that, I have not been a member of this repeater for terribly long, 3 years now. Been pretty active on it. That actually was someone else mentioned that was like when I first got into ham radio, picking a repeater, picking a repeater to like stick on and like talk to and make friends with, really reminded me of that feeling of like, what table do I sit down at for lunch at high school on your first day? Like, who do I sit with, or who do I even get to be? Who am I allowed to sit with? On radio, no one actually sees you, so you can kind of just show up anywhere. But that was kind of what I thought about. I was just like, I'm going to sit with someone, and I got to, kind of probably dedicate to that one group. And 9.1 just happened to be the one that I sat down with for some reason. I don't even know why. I know Karen was super nice to me, and I think there was just a lot of activity on it, and a lot of the people were very close. I was a member, and I should do it more often. I should key that repeater up more often. The Waukesha repeater here, and I was a member, and I still get their emails, but I stopped paying my dues, and I don't go to the meetings anymore. But I'm gonna be a dad round 2 here soon, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I lost my train of thought on that, so I'm gonna go ahead and say, yeah. I appreciate the comment on that. Oh, that's what it was. Jason from Ham Radio 2.0 pitched an idea a long time ago about creating like an Angie's List of repeaters, so that new people could go on to the internet and look up repeaters in their area and literally find reviews of like, this repeater's really good. It's really, they have nets this many times a week, and every time I call it up, there's usually someone there or whatever, and like they do extracurriculars and POTA outings or whatever, right? So like the MRAC group has a ton of stuff. I'm sure they'd have a really good review or whatever, and then there's some repeaters that are just quiet. It might be a really good way. So I need to bug him again and figure out where that's going. Maybe I'll just do it myself and just ask him if I can do it. But we'll see. All right, K9VFP. Vince, go ahead. Floor is yours.
K9VFP here. You guys are talking about repeaters and excuse me, and finding out where they are and whatnot. I bought a thing called the Blue Cat, and what it is it's a Bluetooth device that plugs into either an ICOM or a Yaesu. They only make it for those two radios, but I'll bet you could get it to work with some of the others. And you have an app on your phone, and based on the location data of your phone, you can set a distance, and it will give you the repeaters of whatever distance you want, and then you can select it, put your radio on a blank channel, and it will program the radio for that repeater. It's kind of interesting. I've used it when I've traveled around, and it beats loading a whole bunch of repeaters. You can't remember what they are on the radio. K9VFP, back to net.
Okay, I got to look that up. That sounds really cool. K9VFP, KT9G, net control. I do know, I think I had a membership to, was it Repeater Book? Radio Reference. I had a paid membership to Radio Reference so that I could pull down stuff from it. When I got it when I first started because I was programming with my Baofeng with Chirp using it or whatever. Because I don't know. My friend told me to do it, and I was just like, oh. But I haven't done it since. But that sounds interesting. I might email you and see if I can get some more information on that. So. Okay, so that brings us down to the bottom of the list, and we are 4:38 past the hour. So I'm going to go ahead and see, is there anybody else out there, A Alpha through Z Zulu, who would like to go ahead and check in for the Wednesday night Elmer Net? Go ahead, come now, please.
Kilo Charlie 9, Charlie Mike Tango, no traffic.
Kilo Charlie 9, Charlie Mike Tango, Michael. Or Mike. Can't remember what you go by. Anyway, I got you in and out. If you have any traffic, go ahead and just throw it out there. Anyone else? A Alpha through Z Zulu, go ahead. Okay, so before I bring it up to the top of the list, I have a question. I think I'm ready to up my game. For 3 years, I have been doing all of my HF, 99% of my HF on a Nelson 80 through 10 100-watt end-fed wire strung across my backyard. I will say I've had pretty good luck with it. Like I said, I've hit about 90 countries. Last year, I did buy a 20-meter double bazooka, but I will say 99% of the time I use that for JS8 now. I just leave the radio up during the day and I do JS8 just because I like it, and I want more people to do it, so I want more activity on it, so I, practice what I preach. But I want to upgrade. And I think I'm going to be committed to getting myself a nice HF, full legal limit, vertical, with radials in the backyard. So I want to know, I do know that the guy I chat with in the morning, Mike, hey 9MBM, sometimes he makes it to this net, sometimes not. He has the same one. I'm not sold on that particular one. But I'm curious what anyone has as far as recommendations for vertical HF antennas. I'm committed to doing the 1,000 feet of radials in the ground. I want it to be good, and I'm also thinking about getting the. I'm not thinking about it. I'm going to get the adapter kit that goes into the 7300 to have an RX antenna, so that the vertical is used as transmit only, and then I'm going to use the wire and take the balun out of it and have the wire as basically a not a bog, what's it called? Beverage antenna. But curious what people think about that. Also, why the heck are amplifiers so expensive? I was looking on eBay trying to just find. I found an Ameritron 82. I don't remember how much they were charging for it. Well, now I don't remember how much they were charging for it on eBay, but it looked pretty beat up. But if I want to do 1,000 watts, oh, hold on, let me reset. If I want to do 1,000 watts, I'm going to pay at least $4,000. It looks like that's what it seems. If I want to do 500, I can maybe 2,500 or 3,000. It's expensive. They're not cheap pieces of equipment, that's for sure. So that's what I'm looking at doing. I'd love to hear if anyone else has an amplifier or vertical antennas with radials and how they feel about it and if they're happy with it and blah 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 blah. So that's my question. I'm asking that to the net tonight. So if there's anybody else out there that wants to have input on that, we can pick you up. So I'll bring it up to the top of the list here and go. KD9 JTI. Greg, go ahead. Floor is yours.
I think, now keep in mind at the time I lived at 67th and Lloyd in Wauwatosa in one of those big old duplexes. And I had one of those super antennas. The screwdriver tip antenna went up about 7 feet altogether. And just like what the ERRL has in the antenna handbook. And I had it set up in the living room. The carpeting was so shot and torn up, so I figured, well, the duct tape I put down to hold down the radios were also holding the carpeting together. Anyway, I didn't do too bad with that on 10 meters. I got Virginia with that. I got Colorado with that. Anyway, now I just kind of gave up on HF because the radio blew up. I can't afford another one. And I have no idea as far as putting up an antenna, or even where or how. And I was just kind of wondering, is everybody kind of all ready for the weather we're going to have tomorrow night? K9 JTI.
Yeah, KD9 JTI, KT9G net control. I'm really sorry, I missed that very last comment you said. Were you asking a question about the weather? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I'm not asking about the weather. Ask about everybody else out there. Have you got your plans all made, what you're going to do, batten down the hatches, etc.? Everybody set up, they're going to just kind of hold their breath. KD9 JTI, back to you.
Oh, KT9 or KD9 JTI, KT9G net control. I didn't even know that there was something coming. Shows how tapped into the world I am right now. But I've been, like I said, I was in training for the last 3 days. It's 8 hours a day, and then immediately get into daddy mode and making dinner and blah blah blah. So I'll take a look. All right. I did look it up. I forgot. I was going to say the model of the vertical that I'm most likely going to go with is the Hustler 6 BTV. That was the one that I was looking at. So I don't know if anyone else has examples with or experience with something like that. Was Butternut the one that was MFJ and now is gone because? Is that what I'm thinking of? I can't remember if that's Butternut or not. Or am I thinking of Cushcraft? I can't remember anymore. Anyway, W9GTZ, Jim, go ahead. Floor is yours.
WI9MRC, repeater.
And Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu. Jim, I've been doing a lot of shopping for a used amplifier, and I'm finding a lot of the not real old but medium-aged tube amplifiers. You can get a 1200 watt or 1000 watt amplifier down around anywhere from $800 to $900, and you're probably going to need a 1000 watt tuner that's going to run you another $300 to go with it. I'm even seeing a few digitals. I looked at one today, a digital. I think it was with a tuner for $1,500. That was 1,000 watts, and I think it was a Yazoo, if I remember. I don't remember exactly because I'm not ready to buy it yet. I'm just shopping right now to see what I should be paying. So I think if it depends on what you want. I'm not sure there's a huge difference between the digital amplifiers and the tube type, other than the heat in the room. If you don't, and that helps you during the winter. It hurts you during the summer, but probably not going to spend as much time on the radio during the summer as the winter, anyways. So I guess I'd look for comments there of the advantage of the digital amplifiers over the tube type. Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu. Back to net control.
Yeah, W9GTZ, KT9G net control. Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. I have this like feeling. It's one of those. I don't know. I'm one of those people where like if I'm gonna spend money on something, I'm gonna buy once, cry once kind of thing. So you know, there's amplifiers out there that you can get, linear amplifiers out there that do 15 input and 250 out, and 250 is still way more than I can normally do, and might be enough to get me out there. But then, if I get a vertical antenna that can handle full legal limit, why wouldn't I get an amplifier that can do full legal limit? But I'm like this ACOM that I'm looking at that's 1.2 out. Well, it's 1 kilowatt out, all modes, 1.2 PEP. But anyway, point is, yeah, it's like $4,300, and that's just a lot of money. And I mean that's a big commitment. But I don't know, like am I gonna, if I get that, I'd start doing a lot more HF contesting and do a lot more stuff like that. But like I said, I've got a brand new baby girl coming here in a month or two. So what is May, June, July, August, 3 months. Probably not the best time to be talking about this, but I'm definitely looking into it. I want to get my DX100 DXCC, and I thought I made it 3 years on this end-fed wire. Maybe it's time to kick it up a notch, but I don't know. Maybe I'll just throw more dipoles in my attic and call it a day. All right, KD9 VGL. Gary, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Thanks. Sorry about that. I'm messing around with my software here that controls the rig, so just getting that set. Sorry about the delay there. Well, linear amplifiers. I have an Ameritron ALS 600, the solid state, and it does put out the full 600 watts. I got it used for $750 from a ham down in Illinois. They're out there. QRZ is full of them. If you want to get your feet wet and not spend a blue fortune, it's a roll of dice. I don't know what kind of shape it's in, but the antique store on just off of Sunny Slope and National, just east of Sunny Slope, Antique 2 Modern has a Heathkit SB200, and that'll put out about 600 watts. Don't know what kind of shape it's in, but I know he was asking maybe 300, and you could probably get them down a little bit. But it could be a nice unit just to mess around with. I think it's got the 811s, and you can pretty much beat those up in terms of SWR and stuff like that. It's a very forgiving amplifier, and I know a lot of people have them and they like them. So just a thought, but that's my 2 cents worth. I'm real happy. My 600 is, I'm the third owner. I bought it from the guy down in Illinois who bought it used, took good care of it, tuned it up, and it runs pretty good, and it's very protective. If SWR gets anywhere even near 1.8, it shuts down. So I've had pretty good luck with it. And I built my own antenna system, so my antennas probably aren't the most efficient out there, but I went just like you and fed wire to a horizontal sky loop, and I've been real happy with it. I've gotten contacts as far away as Antarctica, so seems to work pretty good. Anyway, that's my story for now. KD9VGL, back to you.
Yeah, KD9VGL, KT9G, net control. I mean, it might be cheating to say this, but I've made contacts to Australia. I think 10,000 miles, almost 11,000 miles. I think was the longest contact I made. I regularly talk to Russia. I have a really hard time hitting Africa for some reason. I don't know if my radio, like the angle it's at, is just not propagating that direction very well. I can get the UK and the EU like a Christmas tree, but I very, very, very rarely see any stations in Africa. One of the things I was told was that the stations down there are running much less power, so you're most likely not going to see them unless you have a really good receive. So that could be part of it. And then north-south isn't as good, so I don't have a ton in South America. I have a fair bit. But I've gotten Australia with that end-fed wire with only 75 watts, but that's all on FT8. So that's weak signal mode, and not the same as a voice contact. I do technically have all 50 states single sideband, including Alaska. I think I got Alaska on 12, either 12 or 17. I don't remember which one it was. Anyway, thanks for reminding me about checking other people. I was looking at eBay, and then I just remembered to check Craigslist, so I was taking a look at Craigslist while you were talking, so I'll keep an eye on that stuff as well. I'm sure that there's someone out there. I actually got my 7300 off of Craigslist, and I'm still running today. So, all right, K9VFP, Vince, go ahead. Floor is yours.
K9VFP, I've been listening to all of this amplifier stuff, and I'm in about the same boat. So I'm trying to decide. Yeah, I've looked at the tube amplifiers, and being a little bit familiar with the tube technology, you can't punch a hole in a vacuum. So I am interested, but they do use an awful lot of power. The other issue is the antenna. Being in an apartment or in a rental house, I'm not going to put up a tower. I'm lucky enough that I've got the thing I have, and it's not that good. A vertical would be great, but I don't think I could put in 1,000 feet of radials underneath to make it work. So I'm looking for possible solutions. K9VFP, back to net.
Yeah, K9VFP, KT9G, net control. So I will say one of the reasons that I went with that Nelson end-fed wire to start before doing anything else was I live in an HOA. But I live in one of the kind of HOAs where it's community ran. So like everyone that's on the board is like someone who lives here. It's not corporate managed. When I used to live in Arizona, the HOA that was in control of our subdivision was like a corporation that had like 60 HOAs, and they were evil people, evil people. Like, oh my gosh, just terrible. Anyway, get off my soapbox. So I assumed a very thin wire that really wouldn't bug anybody, and I asked both my neighbors, like, hey, I'm going to put this up. Are you guys okay with this? Yeah. So I wasn't too worried about it, but I had never committed to putting a big vertical in my backyard because I just, didn't want to push any buttons. So that's part of the project. Is I'm going to ask and be like, hey, I'm going to put this thing in my backyard, but I'm going to put a pivot, a tilt down on it so that it's not permanent. So the radials and the base plate will stay there, but I can tilt it down and take it down. Severe weather or whatever, in case anyone yells at me. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Well, yeah, I'll keep looking. We'll see what we can find online, and we'll take a look at it from there. Okay, so that brings us to the bottom of the list, and we are at the top of the hour. So we actually ended that on a decent time slot there. So I'm going to break for a second, and I'm going to give the homework. No. The fun activity that you do not have to do, but if you do want to do, it will be fun to talk about next time thing. So let me break real quick. Okay, so my suggestion here was over the next week, if you want to play with the range thing again, if you didn't get a chance to play with it, go for it. You can do whatever you want. I know that we're all busy and life is a thing, but I'm just trying to throw fun stuff out there for you guys to play with. I think I am going to try the 6 meter thing again, or actually get a chance to try a 6 meter thing. Like I said, I've been busy this week, as we all are. So I might try and hit Michigan on one of their 6 meter repeaters and check in. I do know that they've checked. Some guys in Michigan have checked into the 9.1 before. So yeah. So we'll see. As far as homework, what was it? Hold on, where'd it go? I have like a whole list of stuff here. I'm trying to. Oh yeah, the radio scavenger hunt. That's what it was. Okay, so I want to know if you guys have time to play with your radios, and maybe if you have an SDR, or you can use your radio to find weird signals. Tune around and see if you can find odd transmissions and then identify them. So you'll get like scroll through and say, okay, that's Morse code. Oh, that's RTTY. Oh, that's FT8. That's FT4. That's JS8. That's NOAA satellite data. That's aircraft, right? Like, so you don't have to even, if you're going to listen only, obviously, you can go into the aircraft band, see if you can get some aircraft stuff, see if you can listen to some air traffic control or whatever. I do know that one of the things with the HackRF that I just got is there's a really cool app where you can receive flight details, and it'll map it out on a map for you and show like the planes traveling around. I live right by the Waukesha airport, so I was going to give that a shot and see if I could do a receive only and map some of that stuff out. So that might be kind of fun to play with. But yeah, weather broadcasts or anything. So go ahead, play around, take a look, see if you can find some weird stuff. And then as a tip, oh geez, what's it called? There's a website that has recordings and visuals of basically every single digital mode and radio type of transmission to help you identify them. And I can't for the life of me remember what it's called. I will think of it, but I don't want to hold the repeater too long. So while we do our 73 round, I will take a look for it, and I will let you guys know what it is. Next week's topic will be... hold on, let me reset. Yeah, next week's topic will either be... I want to talk about HOA antennas again. I know we've talked about that a few times, but I feel like it's really applicable for a lot of people. So I'm going to do a bit of research on all sorts of fun ways to do HOA antennas, things that you can kind of have as stealth or gutter antennas, or if you want to put like a Tar Heel up on your balcony or something. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about next week. So anyway, let me see. Is there anybody else out there, A Alpha through Z Zulu, would like to go ahead and join us for our 73 round of the Wednesday night Elmer Net? Go ahead, come now, please.
Speaking of weird transmissions, 89 TGM still working, and now I'm mobile. 89 TGM, 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 still working, and
All right, KD9 TGM, got you back on the list. I don't know if you had jumped out there for a little bit, but yeah, we're just picking up our 73 round. So, all right, bringing it up to the top of the list for our 73 round, KD9 JTI. Greg, go ahead. Floor is yours.
KD9 JTI, thank you. Well, I'm going to 73 everybody. You have yourself a fine one. Anyway, you have yourself a fine one. Don't get too rattled for tomorrow if we have some biggies. Talk to you later. KD9 JTI will be clear.
All right, KD9 JTI, KT9G, net control. 73s, have a great night. Good having you on here, Greg. All right, I got you marked, got you checked out. W9GTZ, Jim, go ahead. Floor is yours.
Whiskey 9, Golf Tango Zulu. Jim, just a couple of hints that you've got that Nelson long wire up. Nelson also makes, you can buy a separate 9-to-1 Ballum for 1,500 watts, and it's $118. So you'd be able to still use your wire when you put a linear on, and you might want to use it for. Sometimes you want a horizontal antenna instead of the vertical, and that'll let you use the horizontal with your amplifier. Also, if you do put any radials in, the easiest way to bury those is to use a chainsaw. Just run a chainsaw down about 4 inches, 5 inches deep. Probably best to have somebody follow up with you right behind you and push the wire down into the slot and just step on it a little bit, and you've got it done. And the lawn has very little damage to it. It works pretty good. I've used it for burying ground wires on services for houses, for the electric services. Also, a good source for linear or any used equipment is QRZ, and it's real easy to just look every day at what they list, and if you grab this stuff early, you can get the good deals, and the ones that aren't such good deals go on down the line a ways. And also, ENet has some good deals on used equipment. It's a little harder to operate and function. If you can find it, if you find one linear, you can click on it, and it'll give you all of them that are listed at the time. And then lastly, it's going to be really interesting to see if they ever get that HOA law passed prohibiting HOAs from prohibiting ham antennas, and what they're going to make them accept. Are they going to make them accept 70-foot towers or what? Or my guess is they'll never get it passed, but it'll be interesting if they do. Whiskey 9, Golf Tango Zulu, back to net control. 7-3s, everybody. See you next week. Hope to see you all Monday night for trains, planes, and automobiles. Whiskey 9, Golf Tango Zulu, clear.
Yeah, Whiskey 9 Golf Tango Zulu, Kilo Tango 9 Golf. Oh, it's good info. And yeah, while you were saying that, I found the website, but oh my gosh, my brain just turned off. I was going to follow up to what you said, and I just totally stepped on my thought process and shot myself in the foot there. No, I don't want to hold the repeater open while I try and think about it. KD9 VGL, Gary, go ahead. Floor is yours. 73 round.
Well, thanks very much. Good net tonight. Really enjoyed it. I'll just sign out with the 73. One comment on vertical. I built my own. It's called 17.5. Goes up 17.5 feet. It has 16 radials, each going out 17.5 feet. I get Europe all over the place. I have hit Russia with it. It resonates quite well between 40 and 10 meters with a 4-to-1 Ballon. If you ever want to see it, look me up, send me an email, and I'd be happy to show it to you. works pretty good. So with that, we'll say 73s, everybody. Have a great week. I won't be on the Trivia Net this month because I'm goofing off, but I will be back in June. So take care all and have a great week. 73s from KD9 Victor Golf Lima.
All right, yeah, KD9 VGL, KT9G Net Control. 73s, have a great night. Well, I hope you have fun having fun. So we'll catch you down the log. K9 VFP, Vince, go ahead. Floor is yours. 73 round.
K9 VFP, 73 to all. It was a good net, a lot of interesting topics. Learning a lot, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week. Good evening to all, and to all a good night. K9 VFP, back to net.
K9 VFP, KT9G, Net Control. 73s, have a great night. Yeah, hope to catch you next week. KD9 TGM, Wayne, go ahead. Floor is yours. Back on the list, 73 round.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. KD9 TGM. Yep, back mobile. Hi. Semi-mobile. Hi. Yeah, good net. Yeah, I missed like the last 20 minutes or so because trying to figure out if it's still working tonight or not, But yep, going down to Chicago and come back, yeehaw. One of the sea topics I had, and I want to get into it one day. I don't know if we're going to do it on a 9-1 after dark or we're going to do it on, the Elmer net, but, it's those export radios that I brought up a week or so ago. Again, and it's mainly for the guy, like I said, that he's getting his ticket at the end of the month. He's shooting for it over at HRO. And this is my last week, at the job that I have now. So I'm going to be kind of changing up my own schedule. Got to see which job I accept, because I got 2 lined up, maybe. But anywho, yeah, so we'll kind of see. But I know he's kind of interested in it because he had one. Now he's got the same type of radio that I got now. But maybe we can get into it one time. Either said during the Elmer net or 9-1 after dark. So, because I'm going to talk to Karen about that. If I switch up jobs, I might just take over that net, because I kind of did it last Friday. Because I think she fell asleep. But anyway, 73s to all. KD9 TGM.
Yeah, KD9 TGM, KT9G, Net Control. Yeah, well, I completely forgot about it. That one night that I was on was kind of a fluke. But it was fun. I should try and do that more often. Friday nights aren't too hard to stay up late, so. All right, 73s. Have a great night. I got you marked as checked out. Okay. All right. So before I do final business, I did want to call out the website that I was thinking about earlier is called, and I don't even know how to pronounce it. Sigidi Wiki. Sierra India Golf India Delta Wiki. So, oh, geez. Wow, I'm an idiot. SIG ID Wiki. It's just like trying to pronounce it. Yeah, SIGIDwiki.com. They've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of every single signal that you could possibly hear on a radio across all bands. They have pictures of the waterfall, and most of them have audio, too. So you can play the audio of it, so you know what it sounds like. So if you're sitting there listening to something on 433.92, for example, go to that. If you have a radio that can do ham band, 433.92 is inside of our band, but it's also part of the ISM band in the U.S., and it's used for a lot of really weird stuff. Turn it on one day if you have a chance and just listen to all the weird chirping noises. Garage door openers, light switches, TPMS for your tire sensors for your cars transmits on that frequency. Just a little bit of a hint to the homework that I gave you guys. Go check out 433.92 on your radio and turn the volume up and see if you can hear some weird chirping going on around you. There's some really interesting stuff that happens in there. Okay, anyway, that's what it was. It was sigidwiki.com. Okay, so I got everyone checked out. Is there anybody else out there, A Alpha through Z Zulu, with any late check-ins or last-minute business? Go ahead, come now, please.
Hey, Jim, real quick, 89T Jim.
Kilo 9, Uniform Delta Sierra.
All right, hold on. So I got Wayne. You came back to me with a comment, but then I also got Kilo 9 Uniform Delta Sierra. Tony, did I get that right, or was it Kilo Delta 9 Uniform Delta Sierra? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Tony, K9 UDS. Just checking in. Have been listening, but I didn't get it checked on the last round, so wanted to get in there.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, let me, Wayne, go ahead. What's your comment?
Yeah, real quick before I get out of the state. No, I missed the last 20 minutes, Jim. I don't know if you had any of the plans as far as doing any POTA within the next couple of weeks. I know you brought it up last week, but I didn't know if you had confirmed anything. I was just curious.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. And no, I don't. We have field day coming up, right? When the heck is that? That's coming up. Or did I miss it already? I got to look it up. Anyway, so no, I don't. I have a business trip coming up, and I am going to be presenting at that business trip, which means that I have to write a PowerPoint, which I haven't even started yet. So I'm pretty swamped right now. And on top of everything else. So let's just plan for that. I'll email you. I'll figure it out. Let me think about it tomorrow, and I'll figure it out. Okay, K9 UDS. Tony, go ahead. If you wanted the floor for a second, it's yours. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm not sure. I just have been listening, and I like listening in and learning. So, but you guys got a good net going there. So, just wanted to compliment you and say I like listening, and I learn a lot that way. K9 UDS 73.
Oh yeah, K9 UDS KT9G net control. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you on the spot. I didn't know if you had traffic or not, but I appreciate it. Thank you. I really enjoy running the net, so I like trying to find the topics and getting people engaged. So I'm glad that you're learning a lot. Okay, is there anyone else? A Alpha through Z Zulu with any late check-ins or last-minute business? Go ahead, come now, please.
Jim, what was that 400 frequency again?
Oh, yeah, that would be 433.92. 433.92. If you tune to that on your radio, you should hear something. Well, where you live, even where you live, if you've got a decent antenna, you should hear some chirping. It's technically part of the ISM band in the U.S., even though most of the ISM band in the U.S. is in the 915 range. But there's plenty of things in the U.S. that use 433, especially 433.92. Fan remote controls, light remote controls, garage door openers, weather stations. So like my weather station that I have in my backyard that goes to a tablet in my kitchen that tells me the wind and all that kind of that plays on 433.92. So you should hear something. Yeah, it's 433.92. Anyone else? A Alpha through Z Zulu, go ahead.
WI9MRC repeater.
All right, hearing none, I'm going to go ahead and close this net at 9:16. I'm going to type close here. All right, that net closed out, and I will get a nice little email with everyone that joined us tonight, so that's really fun. And, yeah, like I said, I'm going to secure this net at 9:17 p.m., and as always, thank you all for participating, and a reminder that this net, along with most other nets here on the 9-1 repeater, welcome new operators to experience net control operations by trying a net or two. If you wish to try acting as net control operator, please contact our club president, Karen, KC9WQJ, to participate. All the net scripts are on the club website for you to review. At this point,